We put a questionnaire out a few hours ago before we started recording, asking people what are they struggling with in FC 26. We've not really done this yet on the pod, where we've asked for questions for a guest or really talked too much gameplay. We've talked a lot of content and evos and SBCs, but I think with as we said at the start of the show, I think lack of outstanding content, I think, is the best way to put it this week, Matt. This seems the perfect episode to sort of ask a gameplay expert some gameplay advice. One of the big things that when we put that tweet up was how to get better at defending. What should I be doing in defending? When should I defend manually, and when should I let the AI defend for me? Without going sort of too in depth, what sort of suggestions would you say, RedLac?
You sort of want to keep your team in shape. Like, if you're playing a FUT Champions game or a Division Rivals game, it's not going to be someone who's playing really slow and building their attacks perfectly. You're probably going to have an end-to-end game. If someone's running at your team, this is what I fall victim of. Don't just grab the player in between the ball and the goal, which is the centre-back. Because once you fly the centre-back out, there's a space, and then they'll just go and score a goal. So what you need to do is chase them from behind, and then if there's like a gap, for example, their right midfielder's on inside forward and has come inside, the left back, you need to just bring them in. You basically need to just stay with any runners that are sort of infiltrating your defence, but the ball carrier, their player that's running with the ball, just chase them from behind, maybe switch off to the centre-back, hold second man press. Like, you don't want to rush a defender out, because you're going to concede, basically. I do it as well.
Okay. Interesting. Another one as well that we saw from a lot of people who are defending deep and they've got that formation, they're in that shape. We've just told them how to defend. How do you break that down? What is some of the best ways to try that? Because in previous years, we'd have a Trivella from the edge of the box or a high percentage green time finesse shot, which would trouble the goalkeeper. What are we doing this year? How can we break down that defence?
Yeah, no long shots are going to work anymore. So what we're going to do is, this one's a bit more in-depth, but I can't help but be in-depth. You have to play a lock and drag a right mid or a left mid inside the fullback, because then you have the space between their centre-back and their fullback. If they have fullback balance, or if they've just lost the ball in their own half, the space will be even bigger than if they lose the ball in your half. So you want to attack quick, think quickly, grab anyone. You can play a lock, drag the winger in. If the winger's not on, drag the striker. You can always do a 1-2, take your time, push their team back, and then if you can't do the player lock, basically, you want to go down the line, stop, wait for their defence to drop in towards their own goal, come back towards the edge of the box, and this is where Tiki Taka Plus comes in. Hit the right centre mid, into the centre mid. Is there any pass on forward? Can you hit Pina? Can you hit Mbappe? If you can, you're probably going to score. If not, just take your time. You don't need to rush, and eventually there'll be some sort of window for a finesse shot or just a low driven into the corner.
Interesting. Matt, have you got any questions that we've seen?
On that second one, because I know I sort of do that, sort of go down the wing, wait for them to drop back, try and play it into the middle. I've started adopting a few more player locks into my game, probably more so on like the counter attacks where you want that run inside from a winger, or you want your striker to take a slightly different angle. For me personally, if I'm doing that, go down the wing, cut it back into the middle once the defensive drop back, I still fall victim a little bit, and I'm sure some people do, to that grab centre mids, mark passing lanes, don't press. Because after a while, that defence will kind of shift back up a little bit, and you're kind of back to square one. So, like, how would you best counter that more typical situation of you're in front of the box, say you've gone and reset it a few times, you're in front of the box, players aren't making many runs, not maybe that good at player locking, and your opponent's just grabbing centre mids. What would you do in that situation?
Yeah, I think you have to sort of stand still and dribble to bait rather than like just trying to score. Like, if they're marking the pass, you can sort of dribble to the left, then stop, and then they'll try and mark that. Then maybe they'll switch player. Then the lane's open. It's like, I don't think resetting it is that. For me personally, I'm not that good at it. Like, for a pro standard, I'm good at it in sort of champs and stuff. But the whole idea behind resetting it is the rolls have to be good. If your player rolls are right, you should be able to turn, hit the right centre mid, and then have a deeper centre mid who will then be able to take a touch, find a pass. And that's why tiki-taka is so important, because you can move it quickly from the right mid to the centre mid to the centre mid into like an attacker. It's just the left stick dribbling to sort of shift and change the angle and then find the pass, I guess.
I think one more thing as well. I saw a lot of people when we put that post up asking about sort of how do you stay like focused in a game. I think that's one big thing this year. I found it, especially when playing champs or rivals. If I would say I'm a good player, but I'm not great in any stretch of the imagination when we're talking about like the best players. If I'm not 100% focused and concentrating on the game can get away from you so quickly. I think this year, more than any other year, you actually have to concentrate on what you're doing. I think in previous games, you could sort of autopilot and you could sort of just play the patterns and play the game as you just always played it. This year, it feels that you really have to concentrate, because if not, you can concede 3 goals in 10, 15 minutes. Have you got any tips sort of for people if they are playing champs and they're sort of in that stretch of games? Like, what would you suggest mentally, I'm going to say, for people to do? Like, is taking a break important? Is sort of pausing the game? I know there's a huge thing at the moment about people pausing the game. Like, you pause the game, you're toxic. Like, how is that a thing? Like, and I'll be honest, I see a lot of streamers saying it. I'm not going to name names, but if you think, and I'm very, very passionate on this, if you think that pausing the game is toxic, the game's gone.
They're stream snipers, Rich. That's
the
what they
game's gone. Because I pause the game almost every game, whether that's for me to go, oh, I've got a WhatsApp, let me reply to this. Oh, I need to go and do something quickly. Let me go and take 30 seconds and go and do this. Let me have a drink. Like,
But what is the pause though? Like, are you like 4-1 down 86th minute? Because then
no,
like
I'll pause it at any time during the game. I'm not pausing it at like 85 minutes. I'll just play the game out. But if it's 30 minutes into the game and my Ring doorbell's just gone off, I'm pausing the game, I'm booting it out of play, I'm running downstairs, getting the door, and people think I'm doing that for a reason. Like, I'm toxic by it. It's just not the thing. And there's a real big thing at the moment that if you pause the game at any point during the game, you're a toxic player. Sorry, I've got subs to bring on.
Anything about this?
I've got subs to bring on.
Yeah, but okay,
What do you sort of think in the mentally, like if you're going over a champs run, it's Monday 9 p.m. and you've got 15 games to play, how would you sort of advise people to help get through that?
I think if it's that late, you don't sort of have enough time to be dilly-dallying. But the biggest issue for me is I lose a lot more than the viewers will think in Foot Champs. I get 15 probably 1 out of 2, twice a month. Okay. But because like when there's 15 games to play, the whole point of this 2.5 hour, 3 hour session is that I'm going to get 15-0. So then when I'm like playing the first 10, I'm just trying to get the guy to quit, and like all I'm doing is trying to score, and then I'm losing the ball. They score. Trying to score so much that I'm ending up like in a tough game or I'm losing. And once you get to game 13, 14 or 15, you can sort of be like, right, I'm going to focus as hard as I can now because there's something on the line. But getting to that stage is so hard because I'm not focused. I'm just trying to get to the end goal without like taking it one step at a time. So like my sort of advice to a casual player would be to split it up, maybe play 3 sets of 5 or even 5 sets of 3, because I used to play Foot Champs in like 2019 and I was getting like, I'd be like 17-2 and then I'd end up like 19-11, and it's like, what's happened there? And it's like I lose one game, my head's gone, I'm angry about the last game, but I want to get it done now, so I'm in the next game and then I'm losing because I'm angry. And it's like the only time that happens now is like if I'm in a recording session and I lose and I'm like, oh, I'm like, I can't really stop. But if you sort of just playing for fun or trying to get a new high rank, if you lose, don't play again, because I know that you're angry, but you're still going to play again because you're going to take your anger out on the next game. It's not going to work. You're going to make mistakes, and it's just not worth it.